We actually conduct a survey. We've been doing it for the past few years, and it's a biannual survey. Troy Maston is our partner analyst. He actually used to be with William Blair, so he's been in the industry and is well steeped in knowledge. And what we do is we actually survey our member base to ask them, the people that are in the community, what do you see about the landscape of the interactive space? And what do you see some successes and some needs for immediate attention to move the industry forward? So we actually had this past survey, the most recent results presented in March at one of our forums. And not surprisingly, we saw a sharp decline in the health of the industry. I think we can all nod our heads, it's not too surprising. Much less optimistic outlook than expected. The past few years has been ramping up, and interactive is the stepchild that's actually coming in the forefront. But now we're saying, oh, let's put on the brakes a little bit. We're a little bit concerned. Mobile and social represent the hotspots of growth, and I think that we're going to actually talk about a lot of this today, and I think it will help you to understand why there's some hotspots for growth. Google and Facebook are seen as the industry leaders, yet up-and-coming solutions continue to fragment the landscape and gain traction. I don't know if any of you saw today, it was actually an ad age about how Google is actually now, they may have a swan song, and even though they were leaders in the industry for years, they're actually now the up-and-coming years. All right, Google, they've done this, but what's next for them? Relative strength in direct marketing and weakness in brand marketing. And I'm attributing this to this being the year of accountability. So direct marketing, you have accountability and results. Brand marketing is more about getting the brand out there, connecting with your audience, but not actually having your audience take any action. So direct marketing, and again, we'll talk about this a little bit more about various forms of direct marketing. I think when we talk about direct marketing in the past, we think about DRTV and direct mail, but now we're talking more about direct interactive marketing, search marketing, social networking, seeing how you can actually get your consumers to respond actively to your brand. And unfortunately, there's more uncertainty for behavioral targeting, but you'll see some stats here that actually show that behavioral targeting is on an upswing. My guess with this from the respondents is that people are not fully understanding what behavioral targeting is. So the uncertainty is because we don't fully understand it, and we can talk about that a little bit more today too. Ad networks are benefiting from the difficult climate. Ad networks are much less expensive than participating with a strong brand publisher. If you look at Ad Age, I think it was this past week, it was an ad network guide, maybe it was last week. But ad networks explaining what they are, explaining who the leaders are in the category, but also knowing that ad networks, you have volume of sites that you're able to reach at a very low cost versus being on a high published site like ESPN, where you have a $40 CPM versus an ad network of $2. So again, that's where ad networks are definitely able to prosper in this climate where budgets are declining. All said and done, key takeaways, and this is my taking the data and my perspective within the industry over the past few years, and especially with SEMA, what we hear marketers being frustrated with or wanting to hear more about. And then also my experience with my clients too. My suggestions are focus on what is appropriate for the brand and what the consumer will respond to versus what is cool and what is now. If your audience isn't on Twitter, then don't go in Twitter. Don't focus on that. If your audience is not on Facebook or on MySpace, don't go there. Focus on where your audience is and really invest your money in those areas. Empower yourself to ask the appropriate and effective questions. Don't be hesitant to ask what's going on, or what is this, or what is that. The more that you show your team that you're interested in new tactics without pushing it off the table or just pretending that you know about it, the more that your team will be involved and really be interested in learning more themselves to then empower you. Think of yourself as a consumer or your end user. So many times advertisers are like, all right, let's do this, let's do that. But if you take yourself out of your advertiser role and actually put yourself in the end user situation, would you be receptive to those ads and to those tactics? And if you're not, realize you're probably your consumer also. So figuring out how to bridge that gap is key. A fad is not always fast. Not everybody's on Twitter. Not everybody's on Facebook. So realize that too. Think about what is appropriate for your brand. Don't try to know everything and focus on your area of expertise and empower your team. You are all smart folks. You all are in the positions because you are experts in that area. Don't try to know everything. The more you try to know everything, the worse you're going to be at your job, because you won't be an expert in your field anymore. Empower your team to be experts in their field, and empower them to continue to keep you updated so you have an awareness of what's going on, but continue to be an expert in what really you're passionate about. This is also the year for increased accountability, and that is huge. That is huge for your marketing budgets. That's going to be huge for the coming year. Actually, Rachel and I were talking about this year. So many advertisers are cutting back their budgets this year. It's a huge opportunity for smaller brands, medium-sized brands to actually secure share of voice this year, while the huge brands are cutting back. And gaining that share of voice with accountability will help you, as you're working with your overall teams and your bosses for the coming years, to show the effectiveness of your advertising budget in an interactive world through accountability.